What's up, Police Squad? Elite Genter here, back again with another video. This time we're going to talk about something that I've been working out lately in. And although it's not enough. So let me get you back into the story. First of all, welcome to my YouTube. This is the first ever YouTube video that I'm gonna upload that I actually put effort into editing it. Not like the podcast, which you can watch. I have a podcast. So there is studying, and there's a lot of things that go with studying. And I'm gonna get you into a little bit of context here. I decided, maybe foolishly or intelligently, to join a harder program in my high school. Why? I don't know. I'm bored. I just got it off. I got the offer and I was like, is it better? Yes. I asked a couple people. People say it's harder but better. So I was like, let's go for it. Many people say it's very hard, but yeah, let me talk to what this is actually about. I don't know if you guys are familiar with AP classes or IV classes. I live in Mexico, so there is hardly, I don't know if there's any AP classes, but I know there's IV classes in some high schools. So we have AP classes. We don't have AP classes, we have IV classes. Some people can decide in the United States, like the full IV program, to have all of their subjects IB, some of their subjects IB, only 3 subjects IB, etc. In my high school, we only get the option to have 3 IVs, or which is called honors, or full IB, which is actually an IB diploma. This is just like taking AP. Apparently, you will get better recognition. Even if it's harder, you will get better recognition for your accomplishment. And you would also get college credits, which I am not very familiar with what college credits are, but I think it's like you can not take classes once you get into college because you already took them in high school, or you're already at the level that you should be, so you don't need some classes to get you into that certain level. For example, if I take advanced math, maybe my first college semester math is the same thing as advanced math, so I don't really need to take it because I'm already at that level. So I'm working harder so that when I get to college, I don't get to work that hard. So that is something really cool, but there is a problem with that, and that is that people say you will just lose it, you will get worse grades, and you will just get very stressed about it. And I can get how that is true, but I don't know. I asked my dad, he said, hey, go for it. If you want to leave it, you just drop it. I will feel bad for dropping out of IB. I think it is a possibility. I did ask. But I will really feel bad if like I drop out of IB, because it will be like, hey, you couldn't cop with the pressure. You couldn't go a harder program. My grades are really good right now. I have throughout my first year of high school, I have gotten full 97 out of 100. I think in all of the years. I got in all of the partials, I did get a 96. I think on my first or second partial, but I've been doing fine. It has been getting progressively harder, but I think that I'm okay. I lose my scholarship whenever I get to 85, so I think I am on the way to that. Like I'm safely there. I think that if I don't join the hard program, the IB program, which means International Baccalaureate, I will still be up in the 95s or somewhere there. I can even give myself the pleasure of having like a 90 on a partial and still be up there. So I'm happy with that. I am just not happy with the fact that I might actually get bad, or I want to prepare myself for the worst. I don't want to get to IB and be like, it's just a bit harder. No, I want to prepare myself for IB to be hell. And then I can actually do some better stuff. I can actually do okay. So I want to show you my studying method for this, for what I've been changing. So let's go with the first method. The first method, the method I have, and I think many of you have, is the writing method. I have a very bad handwriting, let's make this clear, but I write. I write and write and write. Well, those are blank pages, but I write a lot about, this is my science class, my biology class, but if you can see, if it's clear there, my handwriting is just awful. Like, there's times where I do put some effort into my handwriting, but it's normally awful. For example, here, I did try to put some effort into it because I was going to take notes from it. It's a bit readable, but there's times, for example, in this part where this is just an old dialect. You don't know what this is about. So That is the cool part about me. And I don't write. You will say, how do you understand this? I don't, actually. Well, I kind of do, but I don't fully understand my notes. What I do notes for is that since we're an online school, well, I don't know if you're already in IRL school. I am not. I take school online and until, well, there's no date to when I'm going to be able to go back to IRL school. So I have to go with notes and I have to be concentrated. And it's very hard to be concentrated when you have a computer and your phone and your iPad and everything. And I have this beautiful setup. So it is very hard to just concentrate on things. So I write because if I'm writing, I'm listening. And if I'm listening, I'm watching what I'm writing. So even if I don't put full attention to the teacher, which is why I don't take notes on IRL school, because when I'm taking notes, I'm concentrated on taking notes, but I don't take notes. I'm not concentrated on when I'm taking notes because I'm listening. But since I'm also taking notes, I'm not listening properly. So I just do bad both ways. I did try to take notes when I was younger, like in sixth grade, but I just wouldn't understand either my notes or the teacher. So I quit taking notes. Here, it's a little bit more healthy because I get to write notes. I have more time to review my notes. And I think the system in which I am in, it's a little bit better than the system I was back in middle school. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't understand my notes. I do have notes. Why? Why do you still do notes? Why don't you just like draw or something? First of all, because I won't draw. Like that's just yeah, it's disrespectful to the teacher basically. But I do notes because after that I try to pass it into like Quizlet, flashcards or something like that. But I have a new method, and it is a method that I have been transitioning. This is my third partial, the third and final partial of my second semester, and the final partial of my first year at high school. Basically, you can call it the freshman year, but it's 11th grade, so it's 10th grade. I know you guys have ninth grade as high school back in the US and in some other systems, but here in Mexico, we have all the way to ninth grade is secondary school or yeah, middle school, and high school starts at 10th grade. We have 10, 11, and 12th grade as high school grades, and there's even some high schools that only have 10 and 11, and you can go straight to college from there, which is pretty cool. But I'm taking a 3-year high school program, and IB, International Bachelorette, if I get accepted, will start next semester, or the second year. So I have a new method, which I want to show you guys, because according to many studies, taking notes just suck. If you are someone who takes notes and like just writing and that beautiful notes, that's awesome. You can upload them to your Instagram, have your friends congratulate you. Of course, share your notes. If you're that kind of person that has beautiful notes and you just don't want to share them to people, that's just mean. Just share them, okay? It's fine. People aren't going to get an advantage on you. I even think that like I don't ask for notes because when people write their notes, I just don't learn them. I don't know how to like manage myself through those notes. But I hope that you do. I hope that you are actually able to do that. And if you do and ask for notes and people don't give them to you, those are mean people. Like if you don't give notes, don't even talk to me. Like leave the video, okay? But yeah, my notes aren't pretty. That's why I never get asked for my notes, but nobody will really want this. This is just not cool. Like there's beautiful notes. This is not one of them. So I'm gonna show you my new study program that I'm gonna be working on this final semester, and hopefully I have it figured out, or mildly figure it out when I get to International Bachelorette program. So we're now here at Notion. Notion, it's a very cool app that, well, it just lets you do everything. I have been experiencing Notion for the past month, and I think it's a pretty good thing. See, I'm very satisfied with it. I'm actually gonna fulfill this. 10 out of 10. You can actually work on teams with this. It's super cool. Actually, I dream about a class or a college class probably, because in high school people don't really like to get that ahead of themselves as I am doing right now. But I'm glad I am taking the step forward. Oh my god, I hit my table very forcefully. So this Notion program, it's really cool. It's an app. You can get it on your iPhone, you can get it on your Android, on your everything, on your computer. You can access it online, I think. But this is how I do it. You're gonna see like something like a black square on the bottom left. That's because I'm covering up my name, because it does have my name. It says my name Notion. So I have a lot of things for this. I have my reading list. If you want to take a look at these books, those are the books that I'm planning on reading. I already read Astrophysics for People in a Rush. That's why I converted it as an article, and I'm gonna write about it whenever I have time. I'm gonna write like a summary so that I can upload it to my blog, which is in progress. And yeah, and never forget about what I learned in that book. I have my daily check, which is things that I'm planning on doing or that I try to do every day, which is like kind of what I normally want to do, and I never fulfill it. Probably the TikTok one is the one that it's the most difficult for me, but I'm trying to do it. I have lowered my time on TikTok, and I'm planning to keep on with that. Then I have the elite intro part, which I have divided. I don't really have any content here. I just have many sub pages. For example, I have things about the podcast. I have ideas for a messy feature and a podcast in Spanish with a friend, which is still not a thing, but it is there. I have a YouTube ideas, which I have a lot of things that I kind of want to talk about, but it's still a work in progress. As I said right now, I don't know. I don't know where I'm heading, but I'm trying to make a plan. It's coming up together. Okay, this is not a finished work. I have ideas for my Twitch, some games that I would like to play on Twitch, which I just never completed this. There's supposed to be more games in this, and also games that I want to buy, etc. There's the TikToks too, which I really don't see a point for me having the TikTok thing here because I normally have my TikTok plans over at my iPhone, so it's easier to reach them. But I do have plans on TikTok. I try to get to treat Elite Gentro as more as a business. Now the school part, I'm gonna go to second semester, which I'm in right now. I'm gonna go to third partial, of course, because I downloaded Notion once I was already in my third partial, and I have all my subjects here. Why are they all blank except for biology? Because I don't see a lot of importance into putting the content into them except for biology. Well, maybe French and history, but I don't have history. I don't have a history exam this partial, so there's no need for it. I just put it there so I can play with it, like actually know what I was doing. But let's take a look at the biology tab. My biology semester divides in this. And that is the coolest thing about Notion. It divides in this. I'm not going to bore you with my biology class, of course, because that's why you're not here. So I actually managed to make it boring, so I'm going to summarize it to you here. I basically go on about how each topic has its own subtopic, and those subtopics have a subtopic themselves, therefore just creating a very big list in the end of topics and answers and questions and everything. And that just leads to constantly challenging your brain to learn, therefore a better study method. What is my plan? Let's go to my podcast screen now. My plan is it's very simple. My plan is just to write notes, concentrate on the class, and instead of being distracted and having to learn the subject all over again, I just write the notes and then pass them to Notion. I took 2 hours into doing what I'm showing you here, which is way more than what I showed you. But it took 2 hours. It could have taken less, but I was doing two things at the same time. So yeah, I didn't learn from this, but I have a learning tool already. I could have concentrated and even have like an advantage, but I was just not feeling like it. But with this video, I don't want you to feel bad because you're not productive. I don't want you to feel bad because your studying has until now consisted into writing notes or doing flashcards or everything. All of that works, but not as much. Flashcards do work, but there is a thing called active learning, which study-wise, I just realized is very good. You know, the two worst methods, and they're the methods that the people use the most, is repeated reading and note-taking. Don't do that. Don't look at a presentation and write everything on it if you want to have a good grade or if you want to be efficient about your time. I have a lot of free time, and out of desperation, I just get mad and start writing a whole presentation. Don't do that. Try improving. How can you improve? There's 3 levels. I divided this in 3 levels. First level, okay. The first level is please put attention into class. If you're not putting attention into class or you don't think you're putting enough attention into your classes, try what I used to do at the very start of the year. Try taking a weekend and just relearn the topics. Take a look at the presentations that you saw and you learn nothing from it. Sometimes you are a better teacher to yourself than any other teacher. So yeah, look that up, look videos on YouTube. I know there's plenty about many subjects. Just don't complicate yourselves. Try to learn the class over again. If you have questions, your teachers will be happy to answer them, or so I hope. The next level is that you do put attention in class, but you don't know how to study. for an exam. There's no correct way to study, but there are more efficient ways of studying. There's flashcards. There is, which for flashcards you have Quizlet, and there's another app that I'm gonna put on the screen that I don't remember. It's expensive if you want the app for your iPhone, but Android and computer is free. So you might want to take a look at that. And also, there is what I'm doing right now, Notion, just doing lists, because that's active learning. Active learning is, for example, when you quiz yourself. If teachers would do a quiz before the exam, for every exam, students' grades will just improve because you're testing yourself. If you test yourself on something, you're not going to feel bad about not knowing because you're like, oh, this doesn't count. Okay? You're doing something that really doesn't count. It's super cool. Now, just try to test yourself, try active learning, and try actively trying your brain, like actively giving a challenge to your brain so that they can know something, okay? So that they can learn something that time and they can reassure that they know. And once in the exam, you're like, if you're gonna, trust me, the ones that you're gonna get the best, like the ones that you're gonna get correct the most, are the ones that you failed in your fake test. Okay, the ones that you make the more mistakes in, if you're a good learner, you're gonna make the less mistakes next time because your brain remembers your mistakes. That's a cool thing about humans. We remember, we learn from our mistakes, and we tend to not repeat them anymore. Well, most of us. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.